Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa with the Guidewell Insights Lounge. We're here with Dr. Leroy Hood, who is the president and co-founder of ISB, and also the senior vice president and CSO of Providence Health Systems, and also with Clayton Lewis, who is the CEO of Airvale. Did I say it correctly?
You did, thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Airvale.
Yes.
So, Dr. Hood, you're speaking a little bit later today. I know one of the things that you're going to be talking about is a brand new industry, and that's why Clayton is here with us as well. A brand new industry that you're launching. So tell me a little bit about scientific wellness. What is this, and what should we be preparing for?
So the essence of scientific wellness is the fact that 30% of your health is determined by your genetics, 60% is determined by your environment and lifestyle, and only 10% by the healthcare system. So what we wanted to do is capture the environment and the genetics.
Sure.
And we do it by surveying each individual in a complete 360-degree way with many different types of data. Data from the blood, data from your genome, data from your gut microbiome. And these data can actually be integrated together, and they identify actionable possibilities that let you either optimize your wellness and or avoid disease.
Okay.
So scientific wellness is nothing more than creating for each of you this very dense data cloud that tells us how we can make you weller and weller.
Weller and weller. Okay, that's wonderful. So tell me a little bit about how you've come to grow this business around this. How did this start?
Yes.
What do other investors need to know about investing in exponential technologies and bringing them together in true convergence like you guys have?
When Lee shared with me his vision, I was actually a general partner at Mavron, a consumer-only venture firm founded by Howard Schultz. And we thought it was such a big idea that we wanted to back it. So we actually did an IRB-approved study where we took 108 individuals, and we wanted to understand three things. First, could we identify transitions in their future? Second, through the coaching, behavior change-based coaching that Lee shared with you, what was our ability to change the trajectory they were on? And finally, start to develop scientifically validated metrics for wellness. So last year we launched a company, and the company Airvale is laser-focused on helping individuals optimize their wellness today, and more importantly, for decades to come. And as Lee shared, we create this data cloud, and then we actually hire an independent external third-party physician that reviews all of the data before it comes back into our team. We have a clinical team, and then ultimately a licensed professional, registered dietitian, presents the data in 6 health dimensions.
Okay, so talk about the 6 health dimensions. What
Yes.
kinds of insights does somebody who signs up or enrolls, what kind
Yes.
of insights are they getting?
So I'll share my story.
Oh, tell me, good.
So I'm an Ironman triathlete in the middle of training for an Ironman, and I figured I'm going to be the healthiest person in the study. So we have 6 health dimensions: diabetes risk, heart health, inflammation, nutrition, optimal aging. So my data comes back, and the data is organized into what are your genetic variants that are going to impact these health dimensions, and then we go very deep on clinical labs. Think
Okay.
twice as many, twice as often as your annual physical.
Okay.
My data came back and showed I was pre-diabetic.
You're kidding.
That's what I thought. Your kidding is right. And so it turned out I had been following a paleo diet because I thought the paleo triathletes were faster. I have genetic variants that actually make it challenging for my body to process fats. I'm predisposed towards obesity. And the flip side is my body processes carbohydrates very efficiently. So as my coach helped me understand those insights, changed my diet.
Sure.
7 months later, completely normalized. And Lee, do you want to tell about the others in the study that were pre-diabetic?
Oh yes, we had in the study of 108 individuals, 53 were pre-diabetic. Half of the group that thought they were well were pre-diabetic, and indeed 2 had frank diabetes. What we were able to do over the course of the 9 or 10 months of the study was move 7 of the pre-diabetics back to normal, and we shifted most of the rest of them much closer to normal. So it was a spectacular result.
That's excellent. So
Yeah.
what do you think the opportunity is moving forward? I mean, with your company as well as for the future in general, with artificial intelligence and big data and some of these things, what's the real opportunity in healthcare?
So I'm also president of the board of Harborview Medical Center. Trauma One Hospital, 27% of the land mass of the United States. Spent 7 years looking at wellness companies. 3 reasons the wellness industry's failed and the healthcare industry's challenged.
Okay.
The first, people don't wake up and say, today I want to be healthy. Diabetes risk, chocolate cake, pretty clear choice. Second, data overwhelms and paralyzes people. Now consumers are out, voracious appetite, consuming billions of dollars of data, lifetime value in weeks, sometimes months, never years, because they're not shown what to do with the data. And finally, what you were saying is just pretty interesting in that as an investor, entrepreneurs would come to me and say, no human interaction. It's about the app, it's about the computer screen. We actually believe you need an individual, you need a champion, you need an advocate to help you translate this really dense, complex data into actionable recommendations.
Excellent. Do you have anything that you'd like to add for that? What else would you recommend for an investor going into? I know you're a serial entrepreneur in healthcare, and out of healthcare. So if for somebody particularly looking at these exponential technologies and bringing them together in a way that you have, what would you recommend? What would be your best advice?
I'll tell you what is really an interesting fact is scientific wellness is going to change the whole fabric of the healthcare system, and it's going to change the roles that people have. With scientific wellness and wellness coaches, what exactly is the role of a physician going to be in the future? That raises really interesting questions.
It does. It's a big paradigm shift.
And I think an enormous opportunity for the future, and especially for nursing schools and nutrition schools, is to create a specialty that's scientific wellness coach. And they'll have a fantastic lifetime experience.
Excellent.
But we want to also be clear,
Sure.
we honor the profession of healthcare.
Good.
And we embrace it, and we think it's extraordinarily important that it be there to help when we have illnesses, to help treat tragedies, and to look at healthcare providers. And all the advances we're seeing at this conference today are extraordinary in terms of how to make it more efficient, more cost effective, the ability to ingrain. But as Lee said at the start of this interview, we're focused on the 90% in terms of thinking about the drivers of the impact of wellness over an individual's life.
And my prediction is over the next 10 to 15 years, the scientific wellness industry will exceed in market cap the current disease industry, or what we call healthcare.
Oh, you've heard it here first. Breaking news.
Because 98% of society's resources go into disease, and in 10 years, we hope 95% of the resources will be going into wellness.
Excellent. So completely flip that model. Let's hope so.
Yes.
So what has you most optimistic about the future of health?
Go ahead.
The level of consumer engagement. So 3 things are happening. One, consumers, we used to think healthcare was free. All of a sudden, we are paying a lot of dollars, so it's driving engagement. Second, if you look at transformations in industry, everything from real estate to travel, when consumers had access to data, they became much more engaged. And what we see from the healthcare providers we work with is they love that level of engagement.
Sure.
They love that level of thought process. So we believe consumers are going to transform healthcare as an industry.
Okay.
And
Dr.
what
Hood?
really excites me is I see so clearly that scientific wellness must be a lifetime endeavor. And I can tell you a couple of reasons for that. Eric Topol here at Scripps has studied the elderly, people 90 years of age. They're perfectly mentally and physically capable in their 90s.
Excellent.
And we learned some years ago that if you get to be 100, most people die very rapidly of a complete systems failure. So my vision is, if you follow a lifetime of scientific wellness, and we'll be generating additional actionable possibilities all the way,
Right.
we can elevate you to the status of the elderly. You can go into the 90s and be functional and active, and of course we'll let you go into 100 and you're on your own.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, thank you for getting us to that point. And we look forward to watching the scientific wellness community grow and blossom. Thank you so much for joining us here today. This is Jessica DeMassa from the Guidewell Insights Lounge.